Welcome to TakeTew, where we get down to the nitty-gritty and talk all things relationships. Say hey, babe.
Hey now. All right. That's about long enough. Hello, everyone, and we're back.
Why are you such a fool?
It's kind of like what I do. Yeah, girl.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Well, I am A.A. Ron, the host of this show.
Tiffany. One of the hosts of the show. Don't get it crooked like Betty would say.
I'm taking over for the 9-9.
I'm taking over for the 9-9.
2000. Excuse me. I'm enjoying this watermelon. Anyway, what do we have for the folks today?
So
That face. Wow.
I'm so excited because it's finally fall. And I got to decorate today. And fall and Christmas are my favorite to decorate for. And I went all out today, but I'm not done. Bisses.
Is that right?
That's right. Little does my husband know.
Dear God.
Heavenly Father, we have come here today. So, but yeah. I just want to, be very extravagant. And I got a lot of fall decor. Because I want it to be, be able to have it up and throughout October and November. But come closer to Halloween, I'm going to put a few scary things up. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today. What you been doing, son?
Well, I do have an appointment at the doctor's later this week. X-rays are in, but they look positive. They say
X-rays?
Yeah. They say that 8 of the 10 screws that hold in the steel plate inside of my skull are still tight.
Babe.
There's only
what are you talking about?
There's only a couple screws loose.
You got more. I almost choked on this grape. He got more than a few screws loose. Wow.
No, I've just been doing what I do. Making money. Giving people high fives and kissing babies. Shaking hands and kissing babies.
I cannot.
But anyway, let's not belabor this. So you know your girl, Cardi B was in the news again.
Yes.
I know you love Cardi.
Yes, I didn't get a chance to look into the situation.
Right.
But I did hear on the radio on my way home from work today that she started her week. Is that what we're going to hear in the playback? You biting into that watermelon?
It's so tempting.
But
I never liked watermelon until a year ago. Anyway, go ahead with your girl Cardi, whose real name is Baniqua Escobar.
Her name is not Baniqua. It's Belazar.
Belazar?
Or something like that.
I'd call myself Cardi B too.
Wow.
Anyway.
Anywho.
So with that, there was an incident between her and Nicki Minaj.
Oh.
A while back. And there was some alleged niggatry at work with that. Shoes being thrown and whatnot. And then with this recent...
But that didn't have anything to do... Oh, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Then this recent situation was at a nightclub where she ordered some allegedly... Because, of course, here in the continental U.S., we are innocent until proven guilty. If you really believe that.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway, so allegedly, two of these bartenders are saying, bartenders at a strip club or something like that. Anyway, two bartenders are saying that they got...
bartenders walk into a bar. Go ahead.
Wow, babe. And they clock in and go to work. So the two bartenders are saying that they got hurt by Cardi B and some of her...
I thought it was strippers that got hurt.
Entourage or something. I don't know. These people are saying, the reports I'm reading from CNN are saying it's they were two bartenders. Anyway, she thinks something had happened where I guess she got upset and was like, the law ain't and blah blah blah. I'm Cardi B. So she was throwing stuff.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't use the name card. Do you know who I am?
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway. So I say all this to say, all Cardi B aside, but let's stick to the text. Here's my question of the day. Who said it? What's his name said it best? Dave Chappelle said it best. When keeping it real goes wrong. And when in life, and what may, is it a maturity thing? But what happens, at what point in life does keeping it real need to go right? At what point in your life do you grow up and say, you know what, enough is enough? This is an important part because as this appears to relationships, are you going to let somebody talk about your spouse on social media? Or are you going to fire back with some petty memes and hashtags? And if you guys are walking out in the street and somebody's talking about your girl, or catcalling from across the street, do you ignore them and go on about your business, or do you walk over there and grab one of your shoes like Cardi and then throw it at them? So everybody wants somebody to stick up for them or somebody to have their back, but it just made me curious today, and I was like, she's got a lot on the line to risk here, and even though we don't have as much to lose as she does, we still certainly do have a lot of things that we don't want to risk. Oh, that watermelon's coming up with a vengeance.
I heard it.
Anyway, so just hear me out with this one. How far is too far? Like if somebody's talking about me or some woman's coming for me, or break it down. I myself have been on the inside of a courtroom and had some things to go up against, and I stood to lose a significant amount. Anyway, how far is too far? How far are you willing to go before you start keeping it real?
Well, I definitely think that if someone is talking about your significant other, I feel as though you should fight for their honor. You should defend them. Me personally, depending on what kind of war or battle this is about to be, I like to be petty on social media. But if I'm able to be face to face with that person, then yeah, I'm going to be face to face with that person, and we're going to talk it out. If we can't talk it out and it leads to yelling and arguing and, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I think Cardi B does have a lot to lose considering that whole incident with Nicki, and then, she was back on the up and up, and now this has happened. So I'm kind of like torn about the situation. I haven't fully read up on it. I did, like I said, hear it on the radio on my way home. I do understand that it has something to do with Offset, who is her husband. So,
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Somebody was like,
that they were messing with Offset.
That they were messing with him.
Right.
But so who cares? Is it that serious though?
Well, it's that serious if it's her husband. That's her husband.
So if somebody walks up to you and is like, "Hey, Tiffany, I'm messing with Aaron." Like, you don't know me well enough to say, you're just making this up.
Yes, I know you well enough to say that. But at the same time, I need to put this person in check, because you're not going to disrespect my man or my marriage by coming up to me. One, you don't know me. And two, if you do know me, don't come up to me and play with my marriage like that, you know? Like, I feel like you're trying to get a rise out of me. You're trying to cause some kind of uproar.
Right.
Especially when I know in my heart of hearts that my husband would not do that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like with that being her husband, like, she has the right to kind of put this woman in her place. I feel like at her level, like the platform that she's on, she could have gone a different route with that.
Right.
But so that's why I'm torn. That's why I'm like 50-50, because I feel like part of me feels like she was right in doing what she did. Another part of me feels like she could have gone about it differently considering her status, you know?
So could she have just told the woman off, snapped her fingers, rolled her neck, and then left it at that?
Well, see, we don't know the full story.
That's
so
true.
that could have been how it started. But you know, people like to escalate things when they know that it is somebody that has status, and just to try to get their name in the papers, and trying to have their little 15 minutes of fame. So it could have started that way. It could have been, you know, Cardi going up to this person, asking questions, XYZ, or somebody in Cardi's camp or whatever. And it could have escalated from there. Because of the other person and not because of anything Cardi did. So we weren't there. We don't know. We don't know the whole story. There's always two sides to every story. So I'm just going to stick with what I think, my opinion.
So fight for your fight. So
wow.
I couldn't get the words out. I was stuck. So you're saying fight for your significant other's honor.
Yes.
But does it always, or at what point do you say, you know what, I know I might do a little bit of jail time. I know I could stand to be arrested, but I'm just going to have to go to blows with this person.
I mean, I'm not trying to go to blows with this person to the point where I'm going to be serving life in prison over. Like, I feel like do it responsibly. Especially if you have a family. Like, she has a newborn baby. Right. And, you know, you kind of have to keep that in mind when situations like this arise. I don't think with us having children, I don't think that I would, you know, do anything too crazy or too buck wild, but I am going to put that other person in their place. And if it escalates to something more, you know, it's hard to say that I'll act responsibly, because when you're in the moment, you know, you're not, emotions are running high. You're not thinking logically. You're acting off of emotion. So, but I would try my best, like everything in my power, to act responsibly, you know, in regards to the situation.
Well, I would say my comment's twofold. One, I think with so many I think it's different between everyday people and celebrities. With Cardi B and this whole thing, like, what's to say this person isn't, oh, rah, 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 me and Offset, da-da-da-da-da, and then there's a bunch of hooping and hollering back and forth. And what's to say the girl isn't trying to escalate it because of ulterior motives?
That's
similar with Eminem and MGK with the diss track back and forth, da-da-da-da-da. Maybe MGK is feeling, you know, like he's got to stay relevant. He's got to get his name out there. He picks a rapper a little higher than himself.
A little higher. A little higher?
I'm trying to give the man a benefit of the doubt.
If he wanted to pick somebody a little higher, he could have gone with any other rapper, not Eminem.
Not the rap god. And the same thing with my man, Bill Cosby. What's to say these people... I'm serious. What's to say all these different incidents? You know how I hate when people like to springboard off of these little incidents with celebrities or these other different people to try to get what they can get out of it. So what's to say she didn't entice Cardi B? What's to say these women ain't halfway making up stuff to try to get hush money? What's to say my man MGK isn't trying to, you know, keep his name relevant? a la Kanye West, Make America White Again. Like all this, I hate all this stuff where people try to springboard off the celebrity stuff, try to make it into something it's not. How does that go back to our relationship stuff? Because, like, I agree with you. Me as a husband and a father, I think there's a lot of stuff where you got to be mature and just be like, look, man, it is what it is. You're not bringing no immediate threat to my family, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, if you disrespected me or my wife or my marriage, that's one thing. I'm going to say what I got to say, and I'm going to keep it moving. But I think we need to be smart about this and not play into it. So a lot of people want to see couples and families fall and stuff. So just be careful what you get involved with. Some of that could be entrapment. Dun, dun, dun. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I was just curious what your opinion was with the whole thing.
Well, that's my opinion, yo. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Mm-hmm. Now I say we go back to the bourgeois. Throw the blanket over our heads, and then we go stick to each other like glue.
Yes, always. So, I can't.
And with that
being said, yeah. That was good.
You go ahead and sign off. I'll go ahead and start peeling these clothes off.
I cannot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Aaron lifts up his shirt and pulls down his underoos, I can't. Oh my God. Thank you for joining us again for another wonderful evening of TakeTew. Today's show is sponsored by absolutely nobody. We aren't that popular just yet, but fingers crossed. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. I have been subscribing to a lot of other podcasts. There are some people that I know, 6 degrees of separation from a few other folks who I just learned have started podcasts. So I'm going to sneak on over to their pages and see what their content sounds like. And I still really want to do a podcast where we're also live on Instagram. So maybe next go around we can go ahead and do that. That way we can get some live feedback.
Sounds good.
But outside of that, yeah. So thanks for joining us, guys. And we'll see you next time. Say bye, babe.
Bye-bye.